All right, everyone. Today we're going to learn about Google Keep, and it is a part of the G Suite that is really not used as much as it should be used. A lot of people don't know about all of its capabilities. Um, the first thing you want to go ahead and do before we start this is go ahead and add the Google Keep extension. You'll need to go to the Chrome Web Store to do that and add the extension, and it will look like this when it's in your Chrome extensions. It'll be grayed out like that. The next thing you'll want to do is go to Google Keep. You can do that by clicking Google Apps, hitting more, and finding Keep, or the other option that is always an option is just typing in Google Keep in a search. Google will automatically take you there first. So you'll click on that, and here is Google Keep. So it's essentially just like Google Docs or Sheets in that it's one of the G Suite apps. So I have pretty much cleared out my notes so that I have a fresh start like you will. Yours won't have this note. It won't have any labels over here. So let's do that first. When you're in Google Keep, let's create some new labels. So go ahead and do that. Maybe you want to always keep yourself organized, so create as many as you want. You're not limited in how many labels you have. So go ahead and create your labels. I already created some here. And now you're ready to keep yourself organized. So I've created a list already right here. This is an example of one. It's the list of what we're going to be covering today. So we've already done an extension. We've already done labels. So notice those are being removed from my list. So let's go ahead and do an example of a list. I'm going to come up here to this icon here and press New List. So maybe this is a list you need to buy things from the store. So you're going to have a store list, and you need milk and bread and eggs from the store. So now your list is created, and you have a couple different options when you've created this list. You can add what's a reminder, which is an actual time to this list. You can change the color of the list. You can add an image if you need to do that. Also here, you have more options if you need to make a copy. Maybe you need to copy it over to Google Docs. There's a variety of things you can do with that. But my favorite one with lists is you can actually share your list with someone if you need to. So if you needed to share your store list with your spouse or with someone that's running the store for you, then that would be great. You can do that. So now we have a list that's created. I changed the color on it. It's different. I could add a reminder if I wanted to. The other thing you can do up here is you can start a new note with an image. I already have some images on here, so I'm just going to use one of these. This is a Winston Churchill image that I downloaded maybe for a course. So it's going to put this in my Google Keep note. I can title it Churchill. I can take notes on it if I need to. Again, I can collaborate, I can share it, I can change the color, all these things. The neat thing about images, and this won't always work, it depends on the image, but if you press the three little dots here, you can actually ask it to grab image text, which is pretty awesome, especially if you are dealing with a newspaper like this one is. So it will grabbed the titles of this particular image. So I can close, and there is my other note. The other one you can do up here in the top of this toolbar is you can create a drawing. So you can change your color here, and you can create a drawing. Isn't that beautiful? So now I've saved that. I'll go back. I can title it Drawing Close, and then again, it's saved right here for me. So I've got 4 different notes here. I could also just create a note that could be like from a textbook notes, okay, that are about George Washington. Okay, and you can just type whatever for that note. So the coolest thing, though, in my opinion, about Google Keep is the extension in Chrome. That if you are if you're looking up maybe articles or something along those lines, you can use Google Keep to keep notes on those articles. So I already looked up some articles here, and this one is entitled The 6 Fundamentals of Technology Coaching. So my extension is up here. It's grayed out. I'm going to click that, and it's going to give me a, whoops, I don't want this. Hang on. It's going to give me a note. It will be blank like this. I had already highlighted some things, so that's why it was there. So it's going to look like this. I could give it a title. If I don't give it a title, then it's just going to keep with the title of the article. And I can scroll down, and if there's particular information from this article that I want to make sure that I make note of, I can highlight it. Once I've highlighted it, it's going to actually put it in my note immediately. So this is the text from this article. Now, if we are teaching students, or if you're going to use this with your students, just something to, of course, always keep in mind is that if they highlight something like this and it puts it directly in there, just remind them to put their quotes around it. They don't want to get in trouble for plagiarizing or anything like that. So that's something that they could add. And again, you can scroll down and take a quote. And again, it puts it directly in there. Now, I want to make sure that I'm staying organized so that all this isn't mixed in together. So I can click label, and I will add this to my Google training label. I can add multiple labels to this if I want, but I do not have to. So now I go back over here to Google Keep, and my note is right here. So there's the note that I just created with the text from that article. Again, I can change the colors. I could share this with someone. I could archive it. I could add an image, all of those things. Now, one of the unique things also about this is that I could copy to Docs. And if you copy it to Docs, it'll take your note and it'll put it in a Google document. So it's titled it Google Keep document, but this is the text that I took with Google Keep and put it directly in a document. Again, if you are doing a research project with a student, this could be a useful way for them to take notes on different articles. So again, I have one over here. I can do the exact same thing. I can put a label on it. And if for some reason I decided maybe I didn't want this note anymore, I could press delete. And maybe I decided I want it again, I can just add it back. So press refresh over here, and it added that note to my Google Keep. So those are the notes. They're pretty straightforward, but there are tons of things you can do with it, which is pretty neat. The other thing you can click on is reminders. So you can add a reminder to a note. So maybe you want to remind yourself to share this with someone. You can add a reminder to that, but you also have a category of reminders. So maybe your reminder is to email Sean. I can say what time I want to do that. Okay, I can repeat it if I need to. I can save that. Again, I have all the same options. I can share it with someone, all the same options that I had on the other page, but I can also add a label. Maybe this is for the Google training. And now I have that label or reminder. So these, notice that it came up here that I had not turned on notifications for my remind or for Google Keep. It's fine to have that or not, either way. If you want it to remind you, then you need those turned on. If you don't want those reminders popping up over here, maybe you don't want that reminder to show up so other people can see them if it's on the smartboard, then you might not want to keep those on. So that's totally up to you. But this is the basics of Google Keep. I think, like I said, it's really underutilized. We should use it way more in education, especially with our students. But I hope you learned a little bit about that.